September 19, 2022, 1 day and 9 hours after 90 development clips of GTA 6 got leaked, this was posted. A message from Rockstar, where all the leaked clips were proven to be right and not to be another fake. With the post being the most liked gaming tweet ever without even announcing the game, set a historical moment in the gaming world and the biggest leak that Rockstar ever suffered. A secretive company such as Rockstar having their work leaked was unusual, to say the least. The world was shocked at what just happened, and so were the employees. Aryan Kurdai, the guy who decided to hack Rockstar Games and leak all the footage he could find, and eventually publish them through the GTA forums under the name Teapot Uber Hacker. At the time of the incident, Aryan was just 17. It only took a 17-year-old to get into the systems of Rockstar, and that wasn't the craziest part. Aryan was put on bail for previous hacks when he decided it was time to hack Rockstar, with only needing a smart TV device connected to his hotel room, a keyboard, a mouse, and a smartphone. This allowed him to infiltrate the Slack chats of numerous Rockstar employees by pretending he's one of them, to then announce he was not just an employee, but an attacker. By now, it was too late. All 90 clips had been released, and Aryan even claimed to have downloaded all of GTA 6's data, stating that he'd released the source code unless Rockstar contacted him. It's uncertain if Rockstar ever contacted him or that he even at all owned the source code, as nothing more has been heard or seen. Aryan Kurdai was part of the Lapsus group, who formerly hacked other companies before Rockstar became their target. In the end, Aryan's whole identity was leaked by his former hack acquaintances and was arrested by the London police. And now, a year later, he was found guilty of his crimes. The impact that he would leave was immense, while he, Aryan himself, was even surprised that it went immediately viral and just decided to go back to sleep. This leak gave us the first look into what GTA 6 will look like. For the first time ever in the GTA series, a female protagonist named Lucia, alongside a male protagonist, Jason. While some are mad and disappointed at Rockstar for a female lead because they don't see this fitting for a GTA game, it has always been a vision that Dan Houser had, who was the former vice president of Rockstar and the VP of creativity. In a 2013 interview with The Guardian, he was asked if there could be a female lead in the future, on which he replied, "Of course, we just haven't found the right game for it yet, but it's one of the things that we always think about. It didn't feel natural for GTA 5, but definitely for the right game in the future with the right themes. It could be fantastic." And now, GTA 6 seems to be the game for it. Nonetheless, it's going to be interesting what Rockstar will do with the story and the duo protagonist. In a report, journalist Jason Schreier said that the story will be seemingly inspired by the bank robbers, Bonnie and Clyde, and all that in Vice City, the only universe that didn't get an HD treatment, so it only made sense for GTA 6 to be set in the fictional state of Florida, Miami. The leaks showed many things about the game, like the ability to be prone and the special abilities of the main characters. One thing that stood out was the number of world events that could happen in the game. From the leaks, we could already see thousands of world events being mentioned, from a firework fight to finding the farm monster, or what you thought about some canal fishing. Speaking of fishing, the leaks also showed the wildlife in the game. As Florida has the Everglades, it's going to be no surprise we're going to see many new animals like the alligators. The police system being the most advanced ever, vehicles showing a working GPS dashboard and leaning out the car window are just one of the few cool features that you could spot. In most of the clips, you can see a lot of elements taken from Red Dead Redemption 2, like the interaction system. And not to forget how the unfinished game visuals already look like RDR2. It can only make you imagine how good the final game will look, which is not weird to have high expectations, considering the game production will cost $2 billion. This comes after Aryan Kurdai also sent a message during the leak. In the message, he says that $2 billion has been spent. A very unlikely statement, but rather means the allocated budget for the game, which includes the marketing, post-production, and much more, making it the most expensive entertainment product ever made in history. In perspective, Red Dead Redemption 2 reportedly cost $600 million to make, and GTA 5 $265 million. But with these costs comes a lot of responsibilities and bad attention, whether you like it or not. Mega projects like these take a lot of workforce, with thousands of employees working day and night to make it happen. So did Dan Houser, who was an important figure in the GTA series, who left the company back in 2019, with one of the reasons having to do with the insane deadlines employees had to deliver during the development of Red Dead Redemption 2. After this, Rockstar made changes to its company to prevent this crunch culture from happening ever again. So did Rockstar spend the last years changing its culture to become a more kinder and progressive company, move away from the crunch, narrowed the gender pay gap, and trying not to punch down on marginalized groups in contrast to previous games? Jennifer Colby, who now is the vice president, also responded to these complaints. She outlined how processes at Rockstar had been changed, flexible schedules were introduced, and some toxic employees, including managers, had been fired and replaced, like the design director who was fired as he was accused by several employees of bullying and verbal abuse. In the last few years, most of the Red Dead Online designers also left the company or moved to GTA 6, which explains why Red Dead Online is in the state it is today.
It looks like Rockstar Games might be in the final development stages for Grand Theft Auto 6 thanks to some recent job listings they put out for the brand new studio they launched just a couple of months ago. We'll be diving into all of that in this video today and a whole lot more. So back in August of this year, Rockstar opened a brand new studio in Los Angeles, and there wasn't a massive public announcement or reveal for this. It kind of just went under the radar. Now, it's unknown what the studio has been opened for or what they've actually been working on, but recently there were 3 job listings posted that could indicate that the studio is wrapping up work on Grand Theft Auto 6. So Rockstar LA is looking for 3 different positions. In the coding side, they're looking for an electronics engineer and a senior electronics engineer. In the performance caption sector, they're looking for a casting assistant and a casting associate. And for the writing part, they want an associate writer, pedestrian, and ambient dialogue. And what's important here is all 3 of these job listings have been put up in relation to NPC or non-playable characters and other voice-over roles, along with an associate writer for pedestrians and ambient dialogue. Now, as far as that associate writer position, this is what Rockstar says. Rockstar is on the lookout for a talented writer to work on dialogue for our ambient population. This is an entry-level role that will have you working alongside other writers to create exciting, interactive encounters with our game's pedestrians. So on the surface level, it seems very clear that these are job listings for Grand Theft Auto 6, and it looks like Rockstar might be in the final stages of adding pedestrians, NPCs, and ambient dialogue into the game. Now, as far as the other 2 roles go, the casting associate, Rockstar is looking for a Los Angeles-based casting associate to support our casting production. This role will focus on organizing writing requests, communicating with agents and directors, and meeting tight deadlines. Other responsibilities include listening to studio auditions and making selects, writing mock audition slides, and problem-solving last-minute casting issues with skill and composure. As far as the casting assistant goes, they say Rockstar is looking for a LA-based casting assistant to support our casting production. This role will focus on organizing requests, communicating with talent and agents, and keeping accurate records. Other responsibilities include organizing audio auditions, writing mock audition slides, and writing talent through audition and paperwork questions. Now, the big question that a lot of you guys are probably going to be asking right now is this for Grand Theft Auto 6, or is it possible that Rockstar is already early working on the next title after GTA 6? Well, I believe it's for the next Grand Theft Auto game, and here's why. So from what very little I know about game development, pedestrian dialogue, unlike the main story, so things you'll hear from like Michael DeSanta or Arthur Morgan, that is not necessarily done very early on. This is something that typically happens at the very late stages of the game. Because if you think about it, ambient pedestrian dialogue, like, for example, the phone conversations you might hear of a person going down the boulevard in Vice City, that's something really that can only be done after the game world, the story, the lore, all of that is already implemented so that Rockstar can make the pedestrians feel as connected to the world as possible.